We're good? Okay. Mayor Cantrell,
Present.
Councilmember King, Director Barnes, Director Duplessis, Director Kennedy,
Here.
Director Cole,
Here.
Director Pacho,
Here.
Director Sloss, Director Howard,
Here.
Director Scholas, Director Antrim.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much, and good morning once again. We know that this is the Sewage and Water Board, New Orleans, our October 23rd meeting, and thank you again for being here. I just wanted to make, this is magnified, sounds like, huh? Very good. Progress, progress. Well, that's exactly what we're standing on, I would say, this morning. Just a lot of progress going on with our utility, and really that stands and it's capturing so much attention nationally and even internationally. And I just want to say thank you to all of our hardworking employees, all of those who are partners with us on the front lines, I would say. We know that, again, with lead line replacement, the city of New Orleans, again, is just pleased to be in a position to maximize resources that have been activated at the federal level. That was unveiled by President Biden not long ago when we had even the convention here in the city of New Orleans. We'll hear from about WebTech, I'm sure, from you, Gassan. But again, with the city, our utility already doing our own assessments, we know how many lead lines we have. That gives us what we need to stand on to therefore submit and to compete. And I would say to keep winning relative to when we submit grant requests at the federal level. One here recently, the HERO grant, the work that our team put forth in making sure that we had a strong application that was submitted at the state level. And on October the 1st, we know that the award came through, actually signed September 24th, but the official, I would say, public notice given October 1, 20.5 million relative to the power complex. And I say good news because guess what? If you don't start, you can't get to the middle, you can't see the end, but we've started, we're right there in the middle, but at the end of the day, we have a full complement to complete the power complex. And again, testament to the leadership, moving things forward and starting at every stage. I just wanted to also announce I'm proud of the team. You know, when we are required to and forced to come up with different ways to meet the needs of our people, we embrace it with that spirit of resiliency. And just yesterday, even unveiling how we're going to, and we announced the option for eligible customers relative to the Act 393 that passed during 2024 legislative session. Again, giving our customers a way forward, billing that they can depend on, that's consistent, while we continue to invest in our infrastructure. Smart meters, we know that we're in the middle of that coming. I say the progress is just phenomenal, and we're moving in the right direction. The Hub Grade Center that we unveiled, again, with our partners Veolia, the first in North America, right here in the city of New Orleans. We have a lot to be proud of, especially when we talk about all of the collections of water that we manage, from drinking water to wastewater, of course, drainage. But the Hub Center is on wastewater. And so we're excited about the technology, the data that will, again, allow us to be more efficient in our practices. But at the end of the day, meet our people where they are with the quality services and water that they need. Make no mistake about it. Listen, the city of New Orleans has put skin in the game since the very beginning, not only starting and making sure that this was a priority relative to these projects, but absolutely to the investments in our power complex and the like. 83 million City of New Orleans dollars. Thank you to the voters who approved the bond sale. When we brought it to them in 2019, they listened, they responded. The customers are to thank. 59 million in fair share, city money also, in addition to 48 million in capital outlay. Again, partnership, state of Louisiana, utility, city of New Orleans, Sewage and Water Board. We understand who we are, where we are, and what is needed. And I just have to say again, thank you to this board, and thank you to the employees and partners of this utility, because we really are stronger together. And I think with all of these signs of progress, we can really hone in the fact that we're stronger together. So with that, I'm going to turn it on over. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our last board meeting, September 18th, 2024. All right. Director Cole stepping in, hitting the ground running. Good job. We have a motion. We have a seconded by Director Pacho. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the minutes have moved forward, and thank you so much. So we're going to turn over to committee reports, Ms. Yolanda. We'll start there.
Yes, and our first committee report will be presented by Director Pacho for the Pension Committee.
Thank you. Pension Committee met on Tuesday, September 17th, 2024, in Executive Boardroom. The meeting convened at approximately 11:01 a.m. Present, Director Pacho, Kennedy, Anthrop, Mr. Magboul, Ms. Johnsey, Mr. Davis. Absent, Councilmember King and Director Scholas. Kweku Obed, one presentation item, Kweku Obed of Marquette and Associates provided an update on the executive summary of the August 2024 market performance and the asset allocation transition plan update. Kweku also addressed the Pension Committee's questions, and it was noted there would be a special meeting Tuesday, September 24th, to discuss the search for potential managers for real estate and infrastructure. Special counsel also informed the committee there would be a special election held to fill the seat vacated by Mr. Davis due to his resigning of the seat. Stephanie Chambers informed the committee that the election would run concurrently with open enrollment on October 15th, and there were 2 candidates in the running. Information items were received, no public comment. There being no further business to come before the Pension Committee, the meeting was adjourned at approximately 11:23 a.m. That's my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much, Director Pacho. So we have a motion. We need a motion to approve.
So moved.
So moved, Director Anthrop. Thank you so much. We need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Director Kennedy. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So we have officially adopted the Pensions Committee report. Thank you so much. Director Howard, we'll hear from you for operations.
Okay. Reversing order here. Okay, the Operations Committee met on Tuesday, September 17th. Present were Directors Howard, Pacho, and Kennedy, absent Director Scholas and Duplessis. There were 2 presentation items. The first was Rebecca Johnsey, the Principal Engineer, who gave an update on smart meter program and how the meters work, the installation progress, the testing and accuracy, the billing impacts. And the second report was by Nina Henriksen, the Infrastructure Project Manager 2, and Ann Wilson, Chief Environmental Affairs, on the backflow prevention program. It's been hit deadlines recently. There was no public comment, and it was adjourned with no further business.
Thank you, Director Howard. We need a motion to approve as presented by Director Howard.
So moved.
It's been moved by Director Kennedy, seconded by Director Pacho. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we've officially adopted our operations report. I know that Director Schloss is not here. Who's carrying his report?
Director Howard, she chaired the meeting as well.
Very good. Director Howard?
Okay, the Finance and Administration Committee met on October 16th, and present were Directors Howard, Pacho, Barnes, and Kennedy. Absent was Director Schloss. The Chief Financial Officer, Gray Lewis, presented an update on the August 2024 financial results and liquidity position. And in the August and September collections were lower than average, and part of it was due to Hurricane Francine and the loss at that time. Total past due accounts receivable were lower than the month before by 9%, and promised pay has been bringing in about $1 million a month for the last 3 months. Total receivables were lower last month by $3.4 million. Billing revenues were below budget and trail year-to-date, so that's something they're watching. Action items included a resolution authorizing application to the Louisiana Department of Health and Funding for funding relating to the lead service replacement program, and that was passed by motion. And then contract award renewals were passed. There were contract amendments that that were also passed, and change orders in Globo. Then there were information items received, no public comment, and it was adjourned.
Very good. Thank you, Director Howard. So we have received the Finance Committee report, and we will need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Director Anthrop. We need a second, seconded by Director Cole. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, any opposed, any abstentions? Okay, so we've officially adopted our Finance Committee report. Thank you again, Director Howard, and we'll move to our Director's report, Director Gaston Corbin.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, Directors. Great to be here this morning. Quick word on WEFTEC. As you mentioned, WEFTEC is a large water-related conference that took place earlier this month in our city. It happens every other year, and it was an awesome event. About 20,000 attendees. It was very, very large. You know, all subject matter experts in the field of water, all in one place, exchanging ideas and dealing with all the current issues that we're all as utilities facing. So it was good to talk about our utility, about progress, learn from them. I had a chance to welcome them to our city. It was just wonderful to have them there. A lot of great raving reviews about our city and, you know, what a wonderful host city it is. So
And your mentor was on the ground. I love that. It matters.
yes, absolutely.
It matters. It keeps you going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So today's presentation is full of progress, like the mayor says, and some of it may sound redundant, but it's worthy of repeating. And we're starting with one of our most critical projects, and $300 million project, and we've been saying it's tracking, it's on time, it's on budget. That's not a typical statement to be associated with such a large involved project, but we are on track to finish the complex by midsummer of 2025, as we've been committing to do so. Things are shaping up and becoming more and more visible. We have the frequency changers delivered. The first one was delivered a few weeks ago. The second one just delivered. It's like a building. You start seeing rising through the ground. T7, you know, much anticipated turbine will be here end of the month. And we're going to continue, obviously, the installation of those and connecting them. The utility rack, as you know, was done a couple months ago, and now the cabling that will be threaded through that to make the connections between the source of the power and where it needs to go will start in November. Again on schedule. Just to close the loop, as the mayor was talking about, you know, had the last missing funding piece that's been finalized through a grant/loan from the DOE, administered by the DNR. So we're finalizing some administrative steps, but it's secure. Basically, the money is $17 million coming from the state with a match from the local entity. In our case, the money came from the city. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for coming up with $14 million to match that, and then the balance of that comes from our system funds. And we're also committed to fund any overruns associated with that project, which is likely to happen because there's some unknown pieces associated with the grant. And until we develop that plan and execute it, we really do not know the cost. Nonetheless, it's helping us bring a final or permanent switchgear, allowing us to connect all potable water pumps to that switchgear, and then will be reliant on the substation permanently. Awesome place. And I love the smile on your face,
It's
man.
exciting. Look, people thought it wasn't gonna happen, boy. This is a can that's picked up, kicked 50 years.
Moving on to another very critical project that we're about to launch. We've been working on this for a couple of years, be compliant with lead and copper rule. And we met that first milestone by launching our inventory of all the service lines in the city. And just for reference, when we talk about lead in water, the only source of lead or potential source of lead in water starts at the service line. So the water mains don't have lead. Any transmission lines or the water, the way it is purified and delivered, there's no lead until it hits a lead line, that tiny pipe that carries water from the water main to your house. So we needed to know where those are and how many. And we did implement machine learning and created a model based on all available data. And we came up with that inventory that we launched. And we have a website now that allows you to learn specifically about your service line, what it's made out of, and all that. The ability to have the $86 million that came through the bipartisan infrastructure law through the SRF is a great start. The 86 is probably maybe not even 10% of the overall cost. But nonetheless, it's a great start, allowing us to launch a program that's much needed and a little bit overdue. We're going to be seeking another $66 million from the same source to create a momentum and then make sure that that program, once it starts, it keeps moving in a very steady fashion. We have an immediate contract, smaller contract that we will be letting in November, focusing on schools and daycares. We think there's about 300 locations that we're going to basically uncover and determine for certain what material, and if it's lead, we're gonna get it out of the ground. If it's not, we can document that it's not lead. Obviously, that's the highest, that's the population that's most vulnerable to lead exposure. That's where we're starting. The larger picture is, we will be launching an RFP in a couple weeks, soliciting a team of project manager, community outreach, public relations, people from the medical field, all in one, under one tent, helping us launch that program and helping us reach as many people as we can, because the EPA and us want to do this right, meaning we want to replace both the public side as well as the private side. And without doing that, it's not a success. So we want to make sure we maximize the yeses from property owners, allowing us on their property at our expense, taking the exposure to lead away once and for all.
And one of the good things that, in the spirit of partnership, we have a strong partnership and collaboration with our public health community. And that just sets us up just very nicely in ways that other cities are trying to get there.
Absolutely, and we have been leaning on the health department for advice and insight. Actually, they will be helping us with the actual selection and monitoring the progress on that we're meeting all the criteria and requirements by EPA. So we're very excited that it's a team effort. So,
Quick question.
yes, sir.
The SRF, they says loan funds. I know that's our process, but it's a grant, correct?
It's combination of both. It's a 49% grant, 51% loan,
Okay.
Zero interest loan.
Okay.
So we need to pay the 51% back over a course of, I think, 20, maybe 30 years. So
It's a good deal.
That's a good idea.
the key is to capture as much of the 66, right, and then beyond. So our hope is that the federal government, launched this program and highlighted the importance of getting the lead out. So it's kind of partially funded mandate, and we're hoping that money continues to flow. because that's the only way, cities like ours or utilities like ours can, take on 100,000, conceivably 100,000 lead lines and get it out of the ground in 10 years.
10% off's not bad, I'll take it.
With it being a federal mandate and all cities having to comply, the good news is that you do have local leadership across the country focused on the same issue and leaning in heavily at the federal level to get additional resources so that we all can be better. And New Orleans being ready, that just puts us, ahead of the game.
This is an example of what your screen would look like if you go on our website looking for your specific address and what the material that your service line is made of. And you can tell we split it by private versus public side. And obviously the biggest challenge is that in some cases we know for certain something is lead. And in the same case, we know that it is not lead. Those are smaller percentages of the overall population. The largest is unknown, just because we can't be certain unless we expose them. So those are defined or identified as unknown, and by default, unknown is treated like lead. But we can't say it's lead because we don't know, but we have to act like as if it is. So in terms of any mitigation, we'll treat it as if it's lead until otherwise proven otherwise. So. Moving on to, again, another exciting project, the smart meters. I love the word tracking, and we've committed to do half the population by the end of the year, and that's exactly where we're heading. So 51,000 meters, probably likely a little bit more since we put that number on, are in the ground. That means we're producing smart bills. It's an awesome thing. A couple things to just put it out there. We're now able to ascertain that there's some properties that have constant consumption or registration. That means a potential leak. So we are able to notify our customers of that. Half of them are responding and taking care of things, half are not. So we're hoping that number obviously moves into more favorable responses to our advice. But the other one concern we're having is that we're seeing a delinquency number develop as part of the smart bills. So we know it's consistent, it's accurate, it's timely, and it's exposing a higher consumption than you would because of leaking. But outside that, there's really no reason at this point to question the bill. And if you do, we want you to call us. There is about 15% of the smart bill customers who are not paying. So obviously, we're concerned that after spending millions of dollars on such a program, by the end of the year, that we're going to end up with a percentage of delinquency. So we're obviously concerned, and we're going to maybe exercise some more immediate action to try to see how we can mitigate that number and bring it down. Obviously, shutoffs is one of the most effective tools. It's something that we regret even talking about it. Nonetheless, it might be what we may have to do to address that issue. And you can see the city is turning more and more blue. Another project we're working on and very excited, it's certainly from my perspective, one of the most legacy initiatives that we have taken on. We promised you on your behalf is to reach out to our employees and provide them with an alternative to civil service. It's merely an exercise to show them that we can be in a better place in terms of how we can manage our utility with more autonomy, more flexibility. And we're at the stage now where we're out there talking to our employees, seeking their feedback. And as part of that, we were able to develop key focus areas that we need to create framework for, allowing the employees to understand where that landing spot looks like if we are to leave civil service. And we're making it clear that unless there's a majority in favor of taking this on, we will not proceed. But if we sense that there's enough interest, we're going to take this framework with some timelines to the legislative body at the state to seek approvals of such with a time frame baked into that plan, whether it's end of 25 or part of 26, allowing us to develop in full what that HR unit would look like, allowing us to move while maintaining some protection that civil service can continue to provide, or at least find an alternative protection that people feel so important, it is so important to them, and then just move forward with that. So next steps are bringing you what that overall framework and whether the employees are in favor or at least willing to explore. So in the wastewater, we don't talk about wastewater a lot. You know, we wanted to give you a quick update. As you know from the Francine event, we sustained damage at one of our largest sewer pumping station. The pumps continue to be down. We do have alternative pumps there that were deployed a day or two after the incident, and we have been running at normal levels until we have a permanent fix, which what Steve and his team are working on afterwards. And the mayor talked about, you know, consistent with our strategic plan, with automation being one of our main pillars or priorities. We take automation wherever we can find it. So in this case, Veolia, who operates our wastewater treatment plant, brought forward a technology that had been implemented in Europe. And this is the first of its kind in the United States, as the mayor said. And when the mayor heard about it, she definitely endorsed it, and it had been implemented. So what this does, basically, it allows us to monitor certain levels in the effluent, in the wastewater, allowing us to gauge how much chemicals we need and when we need it, how much any chemicals is needed will be more efficient, and hopefully, or likely that it will allow us to reduce those costs. So that's the impetus of that, and we're excited about it. Quick update on where we are with billing. As you know, the council had provided a consulting firm, HGI, to manage our disputed accounts. It's a little too early to tell overall. Obviously, we appreciate the resources. They're here basically taking on all the disputes and trying to decipher. So far, they've made adjustments from minor or partial to full write-off for about 600 of them. I think they upheld about, I want to say, 70 of those. The total write-off is first month was a little bit more than $2 million. The key here is to make our customers whole. There are some things that we're looking for, and we will be doing two things. We are taking some cases, and we're actually making a case against the decision, basically disputing those decisions. They're a very smaller number, but nonetheless, if we don't agree with it, we are disputing them, and we're awaiting the actual arbitration process to develop and be established before we're able to be heard. As you know, our administrative hearing has been suspended. The city council administrative hearing process has been stopped. So really, there's nowhere for us or a customer to go in case they're not happy. So we're working very hard on developing those CAAs to be able to capture the $500,000 that was allocated by the state for this effort and hire the actual arbiters and start the work. So, this week, we launched the fixed rate for our residential customers. So if you do not have a smart meter, you will receive a letter in the mail saying this will be your fixed rate until you get a smart meter with no true up. So you pay $135 a month for their per month for until we get you a smart meter. At that time, we will start charging you actual consumption. So we don't know how well received it will be. We just launched it. We're gonna do it in about 10,000 per customer, 10,000 customers per month to allow us to logistically be able to handle, the feedback and the participation. And we're gearing up to be able to read the remaining legacy meters or old meters in their entirety by starting in January, because we will not be able to send a bill unless it's read. So lots is happening. I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. Obviously, the smart meter is the core solution, but in the meantime, we believe that this will provide our customers with a better customer service and better experience.
Quick question on the
Yes, sir.
estimated billing. So in January, so if for whatever reason we're not able to read a meter because there's a car parked over it or, whatever,
Yeah.
what happens?
So our intention, and we talked to the author of the bill, is to send the bill with just the ready-to-serve number with zero consumption. With the understanding, so it will be basically $57.
Yeah.
With the understanding that when we read it the next month, it will throw up. We want to avoid that situation the best we can because again, we don't want that the fluctuation. And hopefully, most of those folks will sign up with the fixed rate, and then avoid one of the biggest poor experiences of our customers is the fluctuation.
Yep.
So, again, another successful initiative we took on last year, and we're bringing you results as we committed. We started over 3,000 locations throughout the city, and combination between our own workforce and crews, and then hired contractors. That number has been significantly diminished, and by the end of the year, you will only see the recently created locations that haven't been restored. So we're talking about 30 to 40-day lag between the actual work and the restoration, and with the hope that that number continues to get smaller and smaller. But we're very, very excited, and
the team has been doing a great job. Really. Thank you so much. It's true.
and people are seeing the results and definitely commenting on that.
Yep.
So that concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you, Ghassan. Ms. Yolanda?
Yes, now we're ready for a motion to approve our corresponding resolutions that were previously approved at our Finance Administration Committee meeting. And they are Resolution 145, 2024, Resolution 142, 2024, Resolution 131, 2024, Resolution 134, 2024, and Resolution 135, 2024.
All right, so we need a motion to approve the corresponding resolutions read off by Ms. Yolanda.
So
It's a motion. We have a motion by Director Pacho.
Second.
Seconded by Director Howard. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor? Any opposing abstentions? All right, we have officially adopted corresponding resolutions. Ms. Yolanda?
And now we're ready for executive session. We'll need a motion to enter an executive session.
Okay, we need a motion to go in executive session.
So moved.
Moved by Director Kennedy, seconded by Director Pacho. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, executive session. Okay, we're ready?
Yes, we're
All
ready.
right, so we need a motion to come out of executive session. Moved by Director Howard, seconded by Director Pacho. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. We are out of executive session. At this time, we need a motion to adopt the special counsel's recommendations. And Ms. Yolanda.
Yes, and that adoption of the special counsel recommendations are regarding the matter of Richard Reese, Cornelius Barnett, and Quenisha Parker versus Sewage and Water Board.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Director Kennedy. We need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Director Howard. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Does the
Oh.
special counsel resolution include our internal counsel?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
all three cases, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we do have a motion and we have a second. Are there any additional questions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we have officially adopted special counsel's recommendation.
Thank you, Mayor. And now we have information items that you may peruse at your leisure. Do we have any public comments? Mayor, we have no public comments, so we are ready for adjournment.
Okay, thank you all very much again. We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Andrew, second.
Jump on it all at once.
By Director Kennedy. All in favor? Aye. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all again so much.